The views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
You're watching the Business Portal, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. I am your host, Capulong. In this edition of on the Corporate World, our guest for today is Mr. Rene Espinosa. He's going to talk about the first Philippine Stem Cell Therapy Summit. And Mr. Rene Espinosa is the president of Powermax Consulting. It's the organizer of that summit, right, sir?
Yes, that's correct. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning,
I'd
Mr.
like to say hi
Espinosa.
to all the viewers of your prestigious show on the corporate world.
Oh, thank you very much. Now, Mr. Espinosa, the name of your company is Powermax.
Yes.
Can you tell us something about Powermax?
Well, the banner is to maximize the power of the people. Through training, we need to add value to ourselves. We need to constantly find a better version of ourselves. So that's where the training programs come to the fore. So we provide different education fora and training programs to enhance the skills and attitude of the people.
Now, your company is focused on training.
Yes, we are also an event organizer.
Event organizer.
Organize
okay.
seminars, public seminars, in-house training, and events.
Now, can you tell us the value of training? Why do organizations or individuals or groups need training?
You know, we have a saying, if you want to have more, you have to be more. That's why we have to constantly add value to ourselves. And I think people who have succeeded in life manage to do so because they believe in the value of training. They invest heavily in training. Progressive companies invest in training programs.
Did you start as a trainer?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
I was a trainer myself. I was conducting seminars for different companies. I was being booked by different consultancy firms. And then a point came when the consultancy firm regularly booking me folded up because of the health problems of the owner. That's when I put up Powermax Consulting Group. Now I'd rather book speakers than to be the speaker myself, although there are rare occasions when I still conduct seminars.
That's good, eh? At least you know how to run the industry, how to run the company, since you were a trainer once.
Yes, I can
Okay.
see things from the standpoint of the speakers. That's why I can easily deal with speakers because I understand their concerns.
That's nice. Now, your company is a training company and an events organizer.
Yes, that's correct.
Does it have some sort of conflict? For example, since you are undergoing training, supposedly you need to focus on training. If you're an event organizer, you need to focus on creating events.
As a matter of fact, there is complementarity.
Okay.
Because when we organize the training events, there is an event management involved. And because we have the expertise in event management, then the participants are more satisfied with the quality of our programs. It's not just the substance, it's the way the programs are handled.
Now, where do you get your trainers?
Oh, I've been in the circles. You know, I meet a lot of people like you, Mr. Howell Mabalot, and other practitioners in the industry.
Howell is also a host here at GNN.
Yes.
Actually, he's hosting on the corporate world. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. Now, what are the different kinds of training programs that you focus on?
My personal focus is on sales, motivation, and leadership. I book other speakers when it comes to other programs. I have speakers on taxation, accounting, supervision, personality development. So I have a battery of speakers who are experts in their chosen field.
So what you essentially do is you focus on a certain topic, and then if that topic is not your expertise, you go to other people.
Yes, that's the distinctive shibboleth of Powermax Consulting Group. Because you know, there were occasions when I attended programs where people give me feedback. They attended a sales program, but the trainer is not a salesperson. or has had no background in selling. So they derive their materials from the books. But for me, what is important is that people will really learn, and they can only learn so much if the speaker has a substantial knowledge about the subject.
Okay, I'd just like to understand, what is the difference between a training program and a team building seminar? Because I've attended other trainings too, and in some of those trainings, the speaker or the trainer would actually ask you to do some stuff. Group dynamics, that's what they call it. Now, in team building seminars, they also ask you to do group dynamics. So what are the difference?
Okay.
Yeah.
In team building programs, there are more exercises, there are more games, and there is a debriefing after each game, so that the participants will learn from the activities that they've gone through. In regular training programs, there are lecturettes, more lecturettes in fact than exercises, because for example, accounting is difficult to have just exercises. You need to understand the concepts. But in team building, actually people already understand the concepts, but the concepts have to be reinforced through activities. I guess that's where the demarcation line is.
Okay. So most of the time, team building seminars are, well, they do last longer
Yes.
than training programs.
Yes.
What is a typical, how long is a typical training program?
A typical training program can last for half day, whole day, 2 days, 3 days. A typical team building program could last for a whole day, 2 days, 3 days. So I guess in general, team building programs last longer.
Well, does your company also do team building
Yes,
seminars?
we have a lot of team building facilitators.
Okay. Now, I'd just like to ask, how do you measure the effectiveness of a training program or a team building seminar? Because most of the time, when I attended a training program, what happens is, after the speaker leaves, yes, I'm all fired up, I'm all inspired. But then when I go back to the office, when I go back, let's say, I commute, I go to EDSA, then I encounter the horrendous traffic jam. All the training programs that I've attended that day will be gone just because of that particular situation.
Yes.
So how do you manage to reinforce or to instill to your participant that whatever you've learned in that training program, you should be able to at least go back to it? It doesn't matter whatever your circumstance is. Yeah.
Okay. With regard to the first concern, it's difficult to measure. It's difficult to quantify the result. But what we have is feedback from the company owners that after the training program, after the sales training program, my people managed to close more sales. So I guess that's one way to measure the effectivity of the training program. And with regard to the second concern, well, we have a saying, training is not an event, it is a process. It's possible to attend a program and there is information overload and it's difficult to retain a lot of things. But if there is a constant reinforcement, then that's the way to learn things. Just like when we were in college, we study and study, restudy algebra, and that's the way to learn things. It's through practice, drill, and rehearse.
So essentially, training is giving them another perspective, giving the participants another perspective, and then letting them see what this particular perspective offers. At the same time, helping them to be able to go through that door, so to speak.
Yes, that's right. Because they become involved. There's a saying, tell me and I forget. Show me and I remember. Involve me and I understand.
Wow, that's a very nice saying. Can you please repeat that?
Oh.
Okay. For our viewers and for me also, so that I can also remember it.
If I understand it right, that's a Chinese saying. Tell me and I forget. Show me and I remember. Involve me and I understand.
And all your training programs that you conduct, that your company conducts, are what you call edutainment.
Yes, of course.
So it's it's more of education and entertainment.
Yes, we appeal to the whole faculty. I've had a chance to listen to Mr. Henry Tenedero of Accelerated Learning, and that's one of his points. You don't just appeal to intelligence. There's also the emotional intelligence.
Which is more effective, appealing to intelligence or appealing to emotional intelligence, or both?
It's a holistic approach.
How do you do that? For example, I'm a more rational person, so I'm left brain, and then one participant is right brain, so he's more an emotional person.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you try to relate the training program to different people in the audience?
That's where the dexterity of the facilitator comes to the fore. If he knows how to appeal to the left brain people and the right brain people and how to have the right mix, then I'm sure the participants will not just be satisfied. They will learn and they will be inspired. So I believe that good facilitators are good at inspiring their participants.
Inspiring and motivating them to act.
Yes, yes.
So there are how many kinds of training programs that you offer, that your company offers? So you have, as you've mentioned earlier, you have sales, you have accountancy programs, training
Yes,
programs.
yes.
What else?
We have supervision, we have taxation, we have purchasing, we have HR programs, job evaluation, job analysis.
So everything a company needs,
Yes.
they can just call you up.
We can be a one-stop shop for the training needs of the company because we have a good battery of experts in their field.
So when you say experts, these are experts that deal with soft skills or hard skills or technical skills?
Both.
Both. How do you determine whether a particular speaker is good on a technical skill? How do you determine whether he is good on a soft skill? Because I've encountered speakers who can deal with theories, but when you ask them to do a particular thing, they hesitate. They have second thoughts. Whereas other speakers, they don't know how to say things properly. They're at a loss for words, but then when they get into group dynamics, they can tell you immediately, here's what you do. Here's what happens. Here's what's happening, and here's your takeaway. Here are the lessons that you've learned. So how do you do that? How do you classify the speaker, and then how do you assign the speaker and tell him, oh, you're good at this, so you focus on this. You're good at this, so you do this.
We listen to the recommendation of our friends, and if there's always an opportunity, we observe the speakers when they have programs, when they're conducting seminars, and so we more or less know where they fit.
Okay. So you've attended the training programs of your own speakers.
Of course.
Can you give me an idea how many speakers do you have right now on your pool?
Marami. Maraming speakers kasi I also organize summits. At summit, we have about more than 20 speakers.
Per day or for the whole summit?
It's a 2-day program.
Okay.
I've organized a national sales rally. I've also booked famous personalities like Senator Gordon, Senator Pimentel, Mr. Cecilio Pedro. At maganda, maraming inspiring talaga. Si Mr. Cecilio Pedro, maraming na-inspire sa mga talks niya.
And how do you get to book these personalities, these big name speakers? So how do you get them to your company and talk about their expertise, their experiences, so that people will listen? How do you get to do that?
Well, first, Powermax Consulting Group has created such a good reputation in the industry, kaya medyo mataas yung credibility level natin. Pangalawa, tinutulungan tayo ng network of friends natin. So, maganda naman yung pagkakilala nila sa Powermax, kaya hindi sila nahihiyang i-recommend tayo sa mga famous personalities.
And who are the attendees of your training programs?
It depends on the topic. So,
Okay.
if, for example, it's an HR summit, then mostly HR professionals, HR practitioners. If it's a sales program, then those are involved in sales. Leadership program, those who are supervisors or those who are managers. So it depends on the topic.
Na, does it matter kung iba-iba yung age levels nila? Kasi, well, let's face it, ano, if I'm a new grad, the things that I've learned while working is very different from the things that someone who has been working for 5, 10 years, diba? So how do you try to balance the things that somebody is able to learn and experience? Kasi mag-iiba ng ano paradigm yan eh.
That's usually one of the concerns raised in our in-house programs. If a company would have an in-house training program, siyempre lahat ng tao nila, papatinin nila. So, sabi nila, paano to? Ito, may mga bago. Ito, may mga season na. So, doon pumapasok yung pagiging season ng speaker. Kaya niyang magbigay ng something too basic to be ignored, but will challenge even the most seasoned professionals.
Have you had any experience na may participant or attendee nagsabi, alam ko na yan, hindi ko na kailangan yan?
Marami. There are always people who, shall we say, na sarado na. So, they have stopped learning. Mahirap yung ganon. Sabi ni John Maxwell, he who stops learning is old.
Oo nga eh.
Tayo bata pa naman.
Kaya nga, yun, mahilig tayo sa training, mahilig tayo magbasa. Pero how do you deal with those people?
Sometimes, bibigay tayo ng stories. I'm sure you're familiar with that. With those stories na para to encourage the participants to be open. Sometimes, I ask the participants questions. I encourage them to give their own opinions. Para naman, kahit na feeling nila, they know a lot. Then, pagka merong sharing, then nababawasan yung pagiging smart attitude nila.
So, you ask them to participate and share their knowledge.
Yes.
And from there, they realize na, uy, yung mga alam ko pala is not enough when compared to the knowledge of someone who's speaking or training us.
Yes, precisely. Kasi, I'm sure you have also experienced this. Minsan may isang company sabi, alam na ng mga tao namin yung management eh. So, I assume na alam na nila. But when I ask the question about a simple principle, the Peter principle, hindi nila masagot. So, ibig sabihin, marami kasi na yung experience lang yung nahahasa, pero maraming kulang pa rin sa knowledge. For example, selling. Marami na de-develop yung kanilang PR. But, hardly the selling skills. Closing techniques, tanungin mo, kulang yung kanilang closing techniques. According to Zig Ziglar, most sales transactions are closed on the 5th attempt. Ibig sabihin, there should be at least 5 closing techniques that salespeople should know. Tatanungin kayo mga participants, how many closing techniques do you know? Kung you name 5, hindi nga makapangalan, mas isa.
So, you also saw, well, nabasa ko kay Zig Ziglar yung Secrets of Closing the Sale, ano? Do you also research and, look sa YouTube or you share your other learnings dun sa mga na-attendan yung training sa mga participants?
Yes.
Okay.
Kailangan din ng research yan. And then from the firing line of experience, kung ano yung nare-research ko, I also apply it to my personal life. Kung ano yung ginagamit ko, kasi we're still, no matter what point we will reach, we will still be involved in selling it. So, I apply those techniques at nakikita ko kung ano yung effective, ano yung hindi. So, I am confident now in sharing this with the participants.
Now, well, kanina, no, you mentioned that you're an event organizer. And next week, I think, or 2 weeks from now, you're going to have another summit.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. We're going to talk about that after the break. Pero just to give our viewers a little background, kailangan ba ng selling techniques dito pagka umattend sila ng summit? Anong matutunan nila pagka nag-attend sila ng summit na to?
Ito naman, para to sa mga taong nagpo-consider na magpa-stem cell. Kaya lang, gusto muna nilang malaman, ano ba talaga itong stem cell? Talaga bang effective to? O baka risky to? Kasi marami tayong narinig, mga taong gumaling, mayroong bad publicity. So, I like people to know the truths and fallacies about stem cell therapy.
Okay. So now we're going on a break. We'll be back with the first Philippine Stem Cell Therapy Summit right after the break.